G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a Bloodied Handmade with 25% damage whilst aiming. That has been buffed. Hitman's has been buffed. Rejoice, and faster movement speed whilst aiming. So whilst we're scooping in, we can move a bit quicker strafing. It's got its tactical advantages, but honestly, that's kind of a dummy third effect. But mostly today, what we're going to be observing is how powerful they've made Hitman's at this stage, because it was changed to additive a while back when they did the whole damage nerf. So they've buffed it up a little bit, giving us a little bit more DPS if we want to aim down sights, and a weapon made framing down sights. Well, you may as well put a scope on it and try to use it at long range. I've also got this Handmade suited up in a different sort of a setup. Normally, I'd usually chuck on true aligned barrel and true or aligned stock, but I want to make this thing look like an SVD. It looks more like an RPD at the moment. Just put a drum mag on it, it'll be pretty much there, but it's close enough. I can pretend, alright? We've also got Blood Eagle paint that'll go well with the outfit. It's red paint, it's not blood, alright? Blood is very unhygienic, not a fan. So, what we'll be doing is we're using Ground Pounder. It'll increase our hipfire accuracy since we don't have the true barrels or aligned barrels to do that. And we'll be utilizing these Rifleman perks. Now, these were all switched to additive back in the damage nerf, but as compared to what they did with Hitman's, you see that we're getting plus 20% damage with this. So basically, we're getting about 4 perks worth, and 3 if you decide to make that super optimized and go the first rank of each, and then just the second rank or something. So yeah, that's pretty good. Definitely what it needs. I wonder how much damage I would be getting out of that. We'll have to see how we go, but I'm keen to see what the game can come up with. We've also got Bloody Mess instead of Ricochet. We'll chuck on Serendipity, and we've got better criticals, critical savvy, so if we want to use VATS, we can just smash criticals out every other shot. Tenderizer is there, multiplicative 10%, and we've also got follow through, which is another 40% multiplicative, so we're basically going to be doubling our damage. It's kind of interesting how it all works, but you'll see it once we have the damage numbers show up, and here's a bunch of my other things. We've also got that. That's kind of annoying though, because if something blows up, I can't see past the smoke of the explosion, so that might slow us down a little bit. But that has a little bit of synergy with follow through, because for some reason, if you hit stuff while sneaking and they explode, it can gain that bonus, which is kind of helpful. So that's the build, and now we're doing 90 damage. You know, we could be doing a little bit better if we had the same rolls on a Handmade, but the Handmade doesn't look this cool, right? Right? Yeah. Okay, we're in green filter land, and once we get the new update present now on the PTS, I'll be changing all of the weather to clear, so it actually removes the green filter from the mire, and everything looks great. It's good. Now we've gone from 90 to 157, which is pretty good. I will be waiting until 6 PM so we can start cranking as much snake damage out as possible, courtesy of Mr. Sandman, thanks bro. And also COVID operative, I gotta take that off and put it back on past 6 PM, and then I can get good sneak critical additive damage. They're not multipliers, unfortunately. It'd be good if they were, but you know, they like to take away our damage, but we find ways to adapt. And I still adapt. I still min-max. Pretty boneheaded thing of me to do to, you know, keep doing this. But you see, I almost referred to the viewers as chat. I've been streaming too much. I've got a thick head, and I will still ride this min-max train until I die. And I'm dying on this hill. Okay, welcome to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, a magical place for grown-ups and children alike. It is now past 6:30, and if I were to quickly do this, note the sneak critical damage thing. Yeah, 375, and we're getting these guys down in 3 shots if we aim down sights. Well, not doing that much better. Most of this stuff is going to be close quarters though. Scope is a bit overkill, I think. There we go, there's a follow-through bonus on that fella, hitting him for 772 there. Could have got a little bit better if I decided to scope in there. 456 in the noggin, pretty good. You can tell right away that, well, we can't really use this Hitman's thing properly. We're doing enough damage, but you can see what kind of, there we go, there's a one-shot kill. now that we're getting some momentum with adrenaline, we're getting some better results in damage. 421, 401. So we're getting about 20 extra more damage by the looks against the super mutants. They do have a fairly decent amount of armor. You know, the FEV has given them a strong green hide that stops bullets in their tracks, and also they wear little bits of metal on them. That probably helps them out a little bit. But we've got the DPS here to deal with them pretty quickly, and probably we've got the sustained DPS to deal with a lot of them very quickly if we want to. Okay, just a dog mounting a wall. Took me off guard. But yeah, no problem so far. We're keeping this nice and slow, but it's not at a pace which I think is a detriment to the game. Generally, when I use stuff like hunting rifles, I've talked about this before, the hunting rifles in this game, and maybe to an extent Gauss rifles, they get away with it a little bit easier because of their exceptional damage capability, but you just don't get a whole lot of damage from them, and they just feel slow, and it slows your game down. With a weapon like this, at least for a rifleman approach, you can still go fairly quickly. And, you know, this was explored back before the damage nerf happened. I ended up getting a much better time out of this weapon during Scorched Earth. I got a really quick time. It was somewhere around 2 minutes or something, and I think that was without buffs, at least from what I remember. Well, perceptive doggo there. We'll just slip back into caution. There we go. High agility, and also things like escape artists, that helps quite a bit. And I think we're done except for that room there, but I think you get the idea. Let's move on to ghouls and not snipe them because it'll be in close quarters again. Oh well. Okay, we're out of the green filter and we're kind of got a little bit of daylight left. Yep, see, this outfit works with winter. He's gonna ditch the vault suit for this? Probably not. Probably won't happen. Anyways, where's the rad roach? Don't know. Taking the day off. Good on him. He's quite a bit of sick leave, and you know the rad roach might be getting ill at this point. So it looks like we can one-shot all these guys at least in the face, which is good. And if we miss a bunch of shots, that's fine because the follow-up shots can be taken very, very quickly, extremely quickly, which is great. Yeah, I don't think it's that much of a secret that I like the semi-autos over the bolt actions in this game. I don't like the promise of extra damage, but you gotta charge up the thing a long time. I guess I do consider the Gauss rifle a bolt action weapon since you do have to charge it up. It's just like pre-shooting instead of post-shooting, like chambering a different round, but same sort of thing. You gotta wait a long time for these rounds to go, and sure, they'll hit hard, but you'll find that in close quarter situations like this, they won't go nearly as well. You can get in here and get real close to your enemies and not even use the scope and, you know, waste the Hitman's legendary effect on this. It's not exactly a 25% increase in DPS and general damage over, you know, over a period of shooting. I don't want to say damage over time because it's already a thing, but, you know, it still holds its own. And once we get that follow-through bonus in, nothing's going to survive more than a few shots. Looks like we didn't get that follow-through bonus there. Maybe I shot the Wendigo too quick, but I have observed it before, so it takes a little bit for the follow-through bonus to kick in, and I have to assume it's because of, like, server things. That was a nice critical. May as well get another one ready to go, and that's all it took, just one shot. Yeah, we're good for criticals. Let's move on. Might use VATS, may not. One thing that you could note about Hitman's, from the transition to Fallout 4 to Fallout 76 is that you could use Hitmans in VATS back in the day, because when you were in VATS, the game would consider you aiming, and you could back this up if you've got a Deadeye prefix weapon, which slows down time when you aim down sight. It's kind of like bullet time. That was fun. What the hell? Ooh, crackheads on the meth today. Ha! That one's a ghoul. Dead now. What the hell? That one said it hurts so good. I don't know if you heard that one, but that's what she said. They're crazy. And we're in their clothes. I look like one of them. It's unfortunate that they had to, like, throw red paint over these not Commonwealth, it's Capital Wasteland Outfits. They had a whole thing teasing back to Fallout 3, and then they released a Creation Club item for Fallout 4 back in the day. And it was mostly to do with, you know, this. They had a bunch of these outfits. You had to go back to GNR and kill a bunch of Talon mercs, which, you know, they weren't given gunner lines because they'd scream out gunners. They were just given settler lines, so none of them were that high a level either. I'm getting off track here. So yeah, as you can tell, did pretty well there. I don't know if we would have took him down faster with a hunting rifle, but we kind of paused there, and there was no danger to us, so he should have taken the pause, and it was good to do it. It's fine. We can do that because this weapon's good enough. I have confidence in this weapon and its ability to back up my builds and playstyle. It's not that I couldn't say that for a hunting rifle is what I'm getting at. Yeah, the Hitman's legendary effect, I think the buff is worth it. I reckon they could do a little bit more with it though, because it's still like not as good as like an explosive. There's less utility there, and fire rate's gonna get the, you know, weapon's DPS up by like 25% no matter how you slice it. So, you know, they could do a little bit more with this, I think. Maybe increasing your damage when you're aiming down the scope. Perhaps what they could do also is make the weapon's range extend out a little bit further whilst using the scope to encourage stay back and snipe gameplay. So you could get away with sitting back even further. See, as a suppressor user, I kind of got used to getting up close, and it's not like the game makes it difficult for you to hide from enemies, but if I wanted to snipe all the way back, I'm going to get that half damage penalty fairly quickly, because we've only got 186 range on this, which is not all that high. I think statistically speaking, the barrel length here, it has no, like, I think I get the same range out of a true or a line barrel, despite those barrels being shorter. Also, barrels in this game don't change how the weapon carries damage either, which I think is funny. So that Mylar Queen's going to keep creeping closer and giving us damage. So even now, from here to like 3/4 down the other side of this little cranberry pond here, we're not really seeing, we're kind of seeing that damage range penalty. 452. Yeah. In the name of science, I got killed there just to find out exactly how much extra damage I'm getting after all of that, and it's fairly impressive. Mix in with all of the bonuses, I mean, yeah, it's probably like the tenderizer and thing carrying it, but alright, no more Mr. Nice Guy playing as a goth chick. We're going to snipe this thing from long range now. If you noted the damage before, you'll find that I'm doing a whole lot less damage now, and as she's creeping closer, that range penalty will be slightly lessened, which is good. I'm just gonna go basically as fast as I can go at this point. We'll go for the head. Exploded the head before I exploded everything else. Pretty nice. And we even got a plan for a receive, which I already have. Yeah, thanks. You see, what I think Bethesda should do going forward with these legendary effects is, sure, make the lesser ones a little bit stronger, but make them do something different than plus damage if, you know, in this condition, right? And I am no longer gaining sneak criticals, because this Scorch Beast has aggroed what I assume to be robots, so that's kind of annoying. We'll just aim down sights here, try to squeeze the damage out, and if you were to fly off, that would be good. Big thirsty boy. Gonna get dead due to radiation poisoning in a second. Just gonna shave some of that off, I think. And maybe recover health. So yep, annoying robots. Now, these guys are a pain in the ass. So getting the drop on them and taking them out before they can react, good. It's good stuff. And also getting payback for when they can see you super easily during shit like daily ops. That's always very good. Alright, time to use VATS then, isn't it? We'll go for center mass here, because the torso is basically a guaranteed chance to hit. It's good. Got a bunch of perception. I need to craft more 5.56 ammo. Luckily, this thing has been fairly on the conservative side of its ammo spillage because of all of that damage per shot. And that's one of the, I guess you could call it one of the strengths of the rifleman build, because you're getting a lot of damage per shot and you can do all kinds of cool shit with it. Ooh, he's decided to jump down right now. We're gonna pump VATS into him just to see how far we can push this, and then get cock blocked by his regeneration. We've got a bunch of regen here on our AP, so we should be good to go by the time we're done. And one shot in the torso with a critical. Does good. Hey, that's a pretty good grenade launcher there. If only it wasn't Ghoul Slayers. If that was 2-shot, definitely would have been next thing. What would I even refer to that as? Last shot? And that Scorch didn't want to die. They do that sometimes. And we're in danger. Not anymore. We're good now. It's like when paintballers cheat and they don't call their hits. It's the same shit going on right now. Either that or my internet has dropped out, and just in the nick of time too, because we're not going to do too much more killing at this stage. We're pretty much through it all, and I haven't had a terrible time with this. I think that the buff has been useful. Revised Hitmans, but, you know, like I said, making a thing that would enhance other playstyles or make you play the game differently might make these legendary effects more interesting to drops, because you want to, you know, test out the playstyle and see if it's fun and everything. Because, you know, going for straight damage is kind of what we do at the moment, a one-size-fits-all approach, which does work, but if you can inject a little bit more gameplay viability into the randomness of the legendary drops, then I don't see why there's any point in not doing that. My feedback doesn't generally get listened to, but I'm just gonna put these ideas out there in the ether. Maybe one day they'll be picked up, or maybe they won't be, because no one wants to listen to me. I'm angry at the game because they broke my damage model. I mean, it wasn't mine. They broke theirs, but it wasn't good. Anyways, Bloodied Hitman's Handmade, like it. If you could get one of these in game, or you roll one of these, try it out. It's pretty fun. And then if you don't like it after a while, you can move on. You can keep re-rolling the same things on a legendary. Only twice a day though if you're out of modules, so stock up. Thanks for watching, guys.